Okay, welcome to EDCI, Educational Technology. I am Dr. Elmer, your teacher for this course, and I am excited to have you in here. This is like the biggest course I can teach, like 179 to 200 students typically. And it's a 1 hour educational technology course. And I understand this is a 1 hour course. And so we will treat that appropriately. But I'm glad that you all were able to come on here tonight and we can go over this stuff. We will not meet weekly, just so you know. So don't worry about that. This won't be something where you have to meet every week. We will have a couple of opportunities throughout the semester where I will do like a live Zoom, kind of like this, that we'll invite you to, but we'll also record those so you can watch them on your own time if needed. Again, my name is Dr. Elner. Again, sorry for those of you that are going to hear this spiel for the second time in almost an hour. But I run the PE and health program. That's my main responsibility up here at K-State, is doing the health and PE for all health and PE teachers. And I know I have a handful of those in here. I also, on top of that, though, I have a master's in technology. And so I do a lot of the technology of educational technology stuff here at K-State. And so I've been teaching this class since 2020, since 2020. So quite a while now. And have kind of revamped it. And I think we have a really good, hopefully, some really good activities for you to do. This course is not going to be a course where I'm going to teach you how to do individual technology things. I'm not going to teach you how to use Word or use a certain tool. The goal for this course is to pretty much explore different ways that we use technology in education. And a 1 credit, 1 semester class could nowhere near cover all the technology that's available to students or that's available to you. And so as I said just a little while ago, it is a 1 credit class. And so I will teach this as a 1 credit class, respecting the workload that comes with a 1 credit class. Now, what I need you to do with it to help me out is I will respect that, but I also need you to respect the class that this is a class you have to take. This is a class that can very easily fall by the wayside, in a class that you don't pay attention to because it's 1 credit, it's online, and oh, I forgot about that. So this class is done asynchronously, which means it's done on your own, but there are deadlines for assignments. You can't just turn everything in. I open the course up week by week. So you have module by module. I do not open the whole course, just so you to do it whenever you get a chance to do it. You'll have to do assignments per week. We will also, in a class this big, to help provide a little bit detailed feedback, you will be doing once in a while, you'll be doing group discussions, and you will be given feedback, peer reviews and feedback to your other people in class. It will never be that much. It's at the most you would ever have to do is 2 per week, but it won't even be every week. Now we're up to 68. That's a pretty good number. Some things just in general to start the class off. My philosophy of using technology, and it's going to kind of go against probably what you think I would say in this class, is I hope by the time you're done with this class, you actually would use less technology. And I'll say it this way. The reason I say that is I want to teach you to use, I want to, I guess, let's make this clear in this class. You should only use technology if it positively impacts the learning experience. You shouldn't just use technology to use technology. You need to use technology to have a positive impact and make the lesson better. If you're teaching something and using technology would not enhance it in any way, then you don't need to use technology. We give kids all these things. And I remember when my kids were young in their schools, they got iPads. This is when they were first starting to give kids going to one iPad. And I was on a committee and I was like, so what are you doing with the iPad? Like, what are you guys going to do with it? And they're like, we don't know. And they gave everybody an iPad, and we had a whole bunch of kids playing like math Space Invaders. And, that's an $800 device to play math, Space Invaders. So another thing is like when we talk about like not using it for a reason is let's say I want the students to read something or explorers or I'm just going to tell them something is to put up a presentation like a PowerPoint that is basically me just reading off the PowerPoint. If that doesn't enhance the lesson at all, does it just makes it really boring. You at that point you can just give the people that. You don't if you're going to read off of it. So that's one of the things I think you should really think about is when we're doing technology, when we're doing these activities in here, is how can I use this to be intentional? So you will be doing specific projects and you'll be doing them as a teacher. So, for example, you'll create a presentation on certain things using a tool, using could be Canva, could be Google Slides, something. And a very popular one that our students like to do is tying shoes. And again, I don't think using technology really is going to enhance the experience of tying shoes. When you can just teach them how to tie shoes, you don't need to make a PowerPoint on how to tie shoes. So that's another example. So when you are doing these assignments and you're doing them, we will be very serious about making sure that you are doing them in your content area. So if you're going to do a presentation, you're going to do a presentation over what your content area is. If that makes sense. And I'll go through that here in a second. And again, if you have any questions or anything throughout this whole thing, the chat is open. You can always just put stuff there, or you can ask later on, or I'll have times I'll always ask if there's any questions. One thing is if you have a question, I'll guarantee you other people are thinking and wanting that question as well. Okay, they want to know the answer to it. You're not the only one. So feel free to jump in there. I'm a big believer in the idea of relationships when I teach. I think it's really hard to teach kids or to teach people if you're not bought in on the relationship and the importance of it. So there's 179 of you in here. I'm going to do my best to teach this as individually as possible to you. Now, that's not always going to be perfect, but I'm going to show you kind of throughout the thing how I think I do that and how it's the ability to be able to do that. So let's kind of jump in real quick to our course. And I'm going to share my screen with you. You should see, that's my email. There it is. You should see this right here. Some of you already done. Well, look at some of you already done. Interesting. Some of people have already done the attendance code, and we haven't even given the attendance code. So we will give you throughout this, at some point in this class, I will give you a code word that will be your answer to the quiz for attending tonight. You get 10 points for doing that. So this is your homepage. As you notice, I put a lot of information on here. Each week, I will update this. So I will update the course each week with the goal being I will do it the Friday before. So this Friday, I will update the course for next week. Certain things may prevent that from happening, whether maybe I'm not around or I don't have access to my computer on that Friday for whatever reason. And then I'll get it that weekend. And if for some reason I get it late, I will always extend deadlines. So you'll want to come here each week. I'll have a little blurb, a little thing about what's going on. And like I said, we will not meet each week, but I will make a video. Most weeks, I'll make a video going over what we're going to do that week. And if I don't make a video, I will send out an announcement with, some detailed instructions or some thoughts and notes about that week. But the meat of the class is going to come here in your modules. And each week you will have a different module. And each week you can see there's typically one assignment. And then as we get down further, you'll notice that there's a few weeks where there's no assignment. Like this week, there's no assignment. That assignment isn't even due there. So it just kind of goes throughout the thing differently. So we'll just focus on this week. I want to run through a couple of deal things here. Hold on one second. Um, yeah, so real quick, I got a question. I think this is a good one. Don't worry about re-answering that question. If you watch the video that was already on here, it's my bad. I that video wasn't supposed to be still there, and it just got left there. So that video is from August. It's kind of the same, but so you do not worry about switching it. Um, I'm okay with leaving that quiz there. Um, okay, so this is our syllabus. A lot of things here. Um, Kind of tells you what we're going to do. This is not the exact, these will change. We're trying to update as we go. We have a few new things this semester we're going to do, but I really want you to focus on a few of these. One is your late work. I gave a big spiel to the last group, but I'm going to kind of give it to you here. Let me just start here. You are taking, this is in your College of Education course. So if you're not turning your work in, and this is one of the biggest problems with this class. Again, I think it's a one credit online class. I understand where it might rate in the priority world, but if you're not turning your work in, like you're going to be a teacher someday. How could you ever like hold your kids accountable if you can't hold yourself accountable? I had a student in a class last semester ask me like, how do we demand excellence from our students? How do we get excellence from our students? And at the same time, this person was asking me this question within the same class. There were a number of students that were missing assignments, students showing up late to class. I'm like, well, how could you ever demand excellence from your own students if you can't demand excellence from yourself? So before we could ever be a teacher that has a high standard for our own students, we have to have a high standard for ourselves. In your education courses, this is not rock and roll history of rock and roll, right? This is a course that we are putting in part of your education courses, your professional courses. So please try to take it seriously and turn stuff in on time as you would expect your teacher to. Um, the meeting dates will be, you'll get plenty of time on that. And again, anything that I give you or a video, because I know like this is not a standard time. It's not a class time like set in the schedule. Is I will always record it so you can watch it on your own time if you're not. But a lot of these will be like they just kind of I would say like for me personally would work better for you if you could be there just because you can ask questions, get a little more, but sometimes better to be there. So be professional, turn your stuff in on time, do your best. But I understand, of teaching this course for a number of years, is that is not always the case. And so I've kind of struggled with it throughout the time. And so what I have is the Canvas is going to, our Canvas grading will automatically take 10% per day up to 40% off your assignment for being late. So every assignment's due. They're typically due Thursdays at 11:59. So at 12 o'clock, it's late. You turn the assignment in at 12 o'clock, you'll lose 10 points. It's going to take it off automatically. Now, if you call me and say, oh, I turned it in at 10 o'clock or 12:01, I can probably work with you on that. But if it gets turned in during the day, the next day, you've lost 10 points, which is usually most assignments are worth 20. So you lose 2 points per day. That can be up to 8 points. Now you're into the D range. So if you were to miss every assignment turned in 4 days late, each one of them, well, now you have a D. Just remember, you have to have at least a C in all your education courses for it to count. So if you were to get a D in this class, you would have to retake the course. Now, I want everybody to get an A. I'm happy to give out 179 A's this semester. And to get an A, you just need to do what we ask and meet those, at a high level. Do what we ask. do what the assignment asks. If you do what the assignment asks, you're going to get an A. We're not going to compare certain people to other people. It's this is what I asked for the assignment. This is what I want you to do. If you do it, you get an A. Now, if you are more than 1 week late, so it's due on a Thursday, the next Thursday comes and goes, you haven't submitted it. At that point, you will need to reach out to me with some kind of communication of what's going on, or I will not grade it. So if it's a week late, I'm not grading it until you at least reach out to me somehow. If it is 2 weeks late, so now we're gone on 2 weeks late, for me to grade it, you and I would have to have a meeting, whether it be face to face or whether it be on Zoom. Well, we would have to have a somehow live meeting to talk about what's going on. And that's not meant to punish you. That's meant to find out. Because if you're late that long, something else is going on. I want to help you. I want to make a plan. There's a bigger thing involved. Now, if I'm not getting contacted, you've turned something in, it's over 2 weeks, you haven't contacted me, I'm not grading it. You will get a 0 on that assignment. Um, and so we have a lot of students that like to turn stuff in on the very last day of class. So please do not do that. And again, going back to, as with all things in the teacher prep program, you should consider how you want your students to conduct themselves in your future class. We will tell you exactly what is if you get points taken off for anything other than being late. We will tell you exactly why you lost points, and you will have 1 week to resubmit and fix it. If you resubmit it and fix it and let us know that you did it, you will get full points. We will not take any points off. So it's not like, oh, if you fix it, you get half points. You can actually get all the points back. So don't forget about that. I will tell you, AI usage. This is our, it's a big thing. We actually do a thing on AI. I think AI is amazing and there's a lot of great things. Please don't just turn in AI stuff. It's the easiest stuff to tell that you're using. So don't put us in that position to have to deal with that. I mean, it's okay, like to come up with ideas and thoughts, but the reality is don't make that part of your writing and, say, hey, just AI create this, because that will become a problem. But it can be used, as a way to research, a way to help you to get ideas. Ed Tech, just kind of some expectations. Expect for me to get back with you. You email me. That's the best way for you to connect with me is email. I check my email a lot throughout the day and evening. If I see your email, I'll do everything I can to respond. I will always respond within 24 hours. If for some reason I don't respond within 24 hours, please resend me the email. Say, hey, just a reminder, I sent this, because I may just have lost it in the, tons of emails we all get every day. When you do email me, please use a subject line. Because if I don't know what class you're in, I don't know, right? Does that make sense? Like I need to know. I teach 7 courses, so I need to know which class you're talking about. So if you just email me and say, like when's this week's assignment due, or whatever it may be, or hey, I'm going to be late. Just remember, that we have a lot of students that we work with, so I want to be able to get to your needs as quick as possible. And me having to send you an email saying, who is this? What class are you in? What assignment are you referring to? Then it's gonna be a problem. So just be as detailed as you can. But right here, that's your subject. I already got it for you. Your name, and not literally your name. Put Mark Elner, EdTech 2025. Can you believe we're already at 25? These are just some ideas, some thoughts on going forward. Okay. If you're interested in knowing how I grade, I put a little video together. Again, I am not going to write a lot of good job comments on your stuff. If you look at your, they all have rubrics. All your assignments, everything has a rubric to it. So if you were to go in and you get 20 points on this, and you wonder, I wonder what Dr. Elner thought, how well, what I did, rather than just the 20 out of 20. Well, you can come in here and you can say, oh, he thinks I demonstrated a high level of critical thinking and thorough insight. He thought I met all the expectations, and he thought that what I talked about was highly relevant and engaging. Again, so what we will do is we will look at it and we will grade it based off the rubrics. Every assignment we have, for the most part, let me go down here to like, sorry, I've got my stuff all mixed up. Here's like a diverse EdTech access or diversity deal. Again, you look down here, it's a similar thing. Some get more specific based on, let me show you right here, for example. So I'm trying to find the one. Oh, a presentation project. For example, if you look here, it's a lot, it's a different rubric. Okay. And so we will grade based off of that rubric. And again, if you want more feedback, you're like, hey, can you talk to me a little bit more about how you think I did? Reach out to me. I'd be happy to have that conversation with you. So each week will look like this when it comes to your module. Each week will be a different module. You'll have a start here page. Now, this start here page is a little bit more detailed than the rest, just because it is our first one. So big portion is what to do. So you will review the course information. We have that's actually Wednesday. Sorry, these dates are wrong because that did not get updated. Your Padlet introduced. We get this. That thing did not get updated, ironically. Your pick collage Padlet, which I'll show you in a second, is due on the 23rd. So that is Thursday. The Ed Technology reflection is due Friday. So I'm giving you, it's a little different. Most things are always due on Thursday, but this week, just because of the way the week started and everything's a little different. Now, let's go down here and take a look to what a normal week looks like. Let's go to week 3. What you'll have is a start here page. You will have your assignment, whatever the assignment may be, and then you'll have all the resources going with the assignment. Now, what I've tried to do with all the resources, and this is kind of where I've gotten into, I'm trying to be like more, try to teach to individuals, is the assignments the resources come in varied ways. So some people like to watch videos, some people like to read, some people want to see a presentation, some people want to read articles. So I've tried to provide resources in a number of different ways. You are not required to look at all the resources. That's a lot of resources. I'm not asking you to look at all of them. I'm not even saying these are the only resources. If you could find resources to answer the questions to complete the project outside of what I have, then that's excellent. I'm happy to have that. But there's enough stuff in here for you to do it successfully. There's more than enough stuff. So you do not have to read every single thing that I put on there. That's there for your knowledge and benefit. Okay. So that's what each week will look like, though. Start here, EdTech access, or the assignment, and then the resources. Okay. Let's go back to the top. And again, you can't see any of this other stuff. You're only seeing this one. So this week, you're going to have right here, you can do this as soon as I tell you this, the Zoom attendance code word. Okay. So your Zoom attendance code word for this is intent. Intent. Remember we talked about intentional? So intent. That is your code word. So do not go tell all your buddies that are not on here, because that just means like, getting them out of it. And they need to know this stuff because everybody has, like, you're responsible for all this information. So that's an easy one. So you just go in there and answer the quiz. Here on Pick Collage, this is the first thing you're going to do. Everything I do in here is trying to model something you could do for your students. So this is a great way to kind of get a little bit of introduce people. Some people may have done it. We're going to see in a second. But using Pick Collage or a similar app, you're going to create something to help us get to know you. we used to kind of do this with core as well, but we've kind of switched into just ed tech. Provide at least 3 descriptive words of your teacher traits, as well as provide pictures that you feel help develop and understand your characteristics. Okay. So just kind of like read through that and you're going to build one. And so here's me. This is my family, my dogs. This is my friends. This is us at Christmas. This is Miles and I fishing. This is my wife and I at a New Year's party. So when I think of what makes me is my family, friends, and dogs, and then we like to have some fun. Then you will go to this link, and I can see right here a number of you have that. Now think about that as a student. Now, how cool is that? So I can go in here and take a look at all of you and get to know a lot more about you. Because right now, what I have to know about you is all I can see is your picture on your class list, and they're not great. But none of us took a good ID picture. So this way it gives me a little bit more to know you. Then you will do an educational technology reflection. So what this allows me to do is to read through and see where you are. So how do you use technology? What do you think your current knowledge is? What's your comfort level? And what are your learning goals? Like, what do you want to learn? So it's about 100 words per question. Selection should be that. And again, you can see how we do our rubric here, and that's how we grade it. Now, another way I try to make this course individual for you is we have broke this up into areas like ideas, a lot of it, tools. So for example, let's stick with the presentation tool I was talking with earlier. I'm not going to tell you what specific presentation tool you should use. There are a million presentation tools out there. Okay. You all have used some presentation tools like Canva, Google Slides, IQ Deck. Obviously PowerPoint. We're going to try to stay away from PowerPoint because everybody's done that. Keynote, those kind of things. So what I'm going to have you do is look at those, and I'm going to have you pick and do what's best for you. So maybe you really like Canva. Okay. And so the Canva is something that works for you. You really like it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to answer this question in just a second. But I want you to pick what's best for you. In this class, we have PE, we have music, we have art, we have ag, we have journalism, we have English, we have sorry if I missed you, math, history. I mean, every area of education is in here. It's not just a bunch of elementary teachers. It's not just a bunch of ag teachers. It is all different. So what somebody may use for ag may be very different what somebody uses for elementary education. What somebody uses for music may be very different somebody uses for physical education. Whatever, also, even within your world, is what are you comfortable with? Like, again, are you just straight up, you're a Google Slides, PowerPoint person? Or are you somebody that's like, hey, I want to get kind of goofy and creative with Canva? Like, I'm a Canva person. I love Canva. Now, I will say this also, when you do your stuff in here and you start to build projects, the first part of the class, we're thinking a little bit. We're doing some reflections, we're learning, and I'll go over that here in a second. But then we get into mostly projects towards the end. Please do not do stuff like, oh, this is a Canva presentation I did for another class and give it to you. Because at that point, what is the point of taking this class if you're just going to, if you're just not learning? This is your opportunity to explore, try different things. You're paying for it. I know it doesn't sound so, great right now, but you're paying for this education, this course. So let's explore. Let's use this opportunity to learn and do new things. So I've gotten people that literally will turn something and say, oh, this is something I did in a class a year ago or something. I don't want that. You already did it. Let's do something different. So let's say you're really good at Canva. You've used Canva a bunch. Now, maybe if you want to take it to the next level and make something really nice, sure, use Canva. But maybe just try to do something different so you learn a new tool. But that'll be like that through everything. Okay. Oh yeah, the question was, can I explain like teacher traits? When I say teacher traits, it could be something like, and Bradley, I'll get to you in a second. Teacher traits could be something like, relationship. Um, you could be something like accountability. It could be something like fun. It could be something like energetic, enthusiasm, positive, caring, sympath or empathetic. Those could be something your teacher traits. Okay. Bradley, you have a question. You just need to unmute yourself. Sorry. You need to unmute.
How
There
you
you
doing
go.
this evening, doctor?
I can't hear you. Sorry.
How you doing this evening?
Uh, oh, can anybody hear him?
How are you doing this evening?
You guys can? What is going on with that? That is weird that I can't. Let me try something real quick. I'm just gonna go to my speaker. I'm gonna go to something here. How about now? Try now.
Can you hear me all right?
Bradley, you can try. Yeah, I'm not hearing. I don't know what's going on. Okay, can you just? I'm sorry, Bradley. It's not working here. That I cannot hear you guys. Let's.
How about now?
I'm gonna try something here. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Okay, can you hear me? You guys can hear me, right?
I
Like
can hear you.
now, I got you. So I'm going with my AirPod.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hey, Doc. Hope you're doing well. Doc, my concern is I know that technology is great. I currently work in a SPED low incidence autism classroom right now, elementary level. I've asked several of my SPED teachers, especially my low incidence teacher. She's like, we straight up just don't use that.
Hmm.
So I know it's good to learn, but what if we're in a position to where we kind of know that we're gonna not use Canva and this and that? Like we're just not gonna use it
Okay.
due to the environment that we work in.
Yeah, good question. So let me respond to it this way. And I understand what you're saying. So what I would use it like a lot of it is maybe you're doing a presentation to parents. You're using technology to communicate with parents. You're using technology to share things with parents or other colleagues in your field. You're trying to get stuff to other teachers that are working with these students. So I would take it more from that aspect. So, like for example, when we do a presentation, this might be a presentation I'm going to be using with parents, or I'm teaching to other people to be able to work with the students that I work with. Um, I understand what you're saying on that. But that's what I would take it as where you can do it. I mean, the answer is the reality is, Bradley, and I hate to say it this way, is like you have to take the course. You know what I mean? It's part of the deal, and I can't
Right.
just say you don't have to do it because what you're doing doesn't require it. I would also do something where maybe I would look, when you're doing these, is looking and using it. How could I doing some looking online is what do we do with students in these situations, in these specific environments that would use technology.
Correct. I understand what you're saying, but when we need a presentation done, especially in SPED low incidents, our IT guy does it or our computer teacher does it. Anything that goes to parents, they take care of that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and so you're going to have to make that decision. So again, to take, just going to be blunt with you, you have to do it to take to get through this class. So you, that's just the way it is. Now you and I can have this conversation offline, in a different, but we're teaching you how to use it in an educational setting, whether it be your specific setting, but that would not even be my decision to not to not have you take this class because you're using it within an environment that doesn't use technology.
I understand what you're saying. Like there's plenty of my, general ed, gen ed elementary teachers. Yeah, they use Canva, they do this, they do that. It's just in our environment, we just simply don't use it.
Okay. Well, then that's,
Yeah.
again, I don't use anything from algebra or history, rock and roll, and I took both those classes in college. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can't tell you not to take the course. So I would come up with a way, like, again, I'm going to make this work that I'm going to make a presentation for my students. I'm not going to have somebody else do it. Because if you're the teacher of the class, you're the one that knows the best of it to get it there.
Hmm.
So again, this is something we could talk offline or off the Zoom about more if you'd want to.
And doctor, just I even last semester I went up to the dean's level because I had an instructor that insisted on all these excessive use of Canva presentations.
Oh, I'm not. That's one small. That's one module of the whole thing. This isn't a Canva course, so
Right, but it was almost like overkill. Every other assignment, they wanted a Canva presentation.
yeah, I'm
And I
not.
was spending
Yeah, I'm
yeah, I was
not.
spending 3/4 of the time on graphic design and 1/4 of the time on the actual subject matter content. So that was my issue with that class.
That's I'm happy to have that conversation with you off it. Like I can't. Again, this is a required course for College of Ed, and so we can talk about that off at a different time.
Because I stressed to the dean, I said, Dean, I'm here to be a teacher, not a graphic designer.
Okay, well, there's not a whole lot of graphic design in this course.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
hey, and again, like I said, I want to get going because we don't want to keep everybody here and you and I having this conversation on our own. So I'm happy to talk to you off it. Okay,
Okay.
thanks. Um, and that's gonna be on. Yeah, I'm moving on here. So the next, totally forgot where I was here. Oh, I want to go through kind of what we do just to look at the course and everything overall, so you can kind of see where we go with it. I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit. So week two, so week one, we're doing this, your reflection. Week two, we're going to be looking at Go React, which is what you will be using when you student teach and when you do your practicum, you will be looking and using Go React. So that's something you have to do. You'll be using that. It doesn't matter if you are doing a distance or you're doing a local one. You will be, didn't share my screen. Sorry, I didn't share my screen with you on that. You will be doing you'll have to learn how to use Go React. We'll talk about that a little bit. And let me go down here to my weeks. I'm going to go backwards on you, just the way my thing is set up. Week three, we're going to be talking about access and diversity issues. This is for all people, like when you're in education, it's important to understand not everybody has access, not everybody uses it the same. So not everybody is able to. So we found this out really during during the COVID with the pandemic when everybody went home and we're like, okay, everybody jump on Zoom and we sent all our students back and everybody was in small town. We had not everybody, we had a lot of students in small town Western Kansas. They didn't have internet access. Sitting my kids in my house have good internet. They have plenty of bandwidth, and they were all able to get on. That wasn't the case. Also, is what is it like at home? What access do students have at home? Do students have parents that can help them? Do students have do they have certain knowledge? So we'll talk about that, and then going down into like how can you do that. We're going to use what's called curation tools. So curation tools are really cool. They're something that you would actually share with your class or with your parents or with anybody. Basically, curation is like a curating a museum. So you're making kind of a museum of your stuff that you're doing in class. It could be a place where you put resources. It could be a place where you put artwork. It could be a class for anything. Um, Next, we'll be talking about social media. Again, that's a big topic, obviously a hot topic in education and then the use of phones and social media. One thing I will say, and I get a lot of people that say, well, we just don't use social media because it's a bad thing. That's where your kids are. The majority of your students are using social media. And so you're just not going to where they are. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Obviously, we have our presentation tool. Again, different kinds of presentations. We will talk about digital assessment, how you can do some assessment with your students digitally. We'll be doing a thing on AI. I think everybody should learn how to use AI in an effective and ethical manner. And I'm telling you, like there are some well, I've used AI to do certain things, and it just blows me away every time. The reality is, it's here, and it is certainly not going back in the box. You will be dealing with this with your students, but there's things it can help you with. And you might say, well, yeah, but that's cheating. Well, if anybody's ever used the internet, if you've ever done a Google search, Yahoo search, or anything, you have used AI. If you've ever looked on Facebook and all of a sudden you look at one ad and 700 of those ads are starting to pop up, you're using it. Um, we will make a video presentation. This is kind of our final project. We'll be making a video presentation where you actually make a video that will review a topic. Again, the idea is just for you to get the experience making a video. We'll have some stuff here, but don't worry too much about that. You'll have plenty of time. The goal is what I try to do. I kind of front load everything when we have things going weekly, because what happens is I understand your other classes start getting really busy towards the end. So, like at the beginning, we'll have like an assignment due each week. Towards the end, you'll start to notice, especially kind of after things or after spring break, things will start to come where it's maybe you have one assignment due every other week, or maybe sometimes I give you a break week. I know you just need a week off of not thinking about this one credit class sitting there. So we can do that. If you've ever been in any of my classes before, some of you have been maybe in my health and movement or some of my PE classes, like I really want you to understand is like I want to work with you. Please do not wait until the last minute to tell me you're struggling with this class. Don't tell me at the end of the semester, I didn't like this class because you didn't do this. I am willing and wanting, right? I'm willing and I'm desiring to learn from you, learn with you. If there's something I can do to make this personal experience better for you, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to find a way, again, like with Bradley up here, like let's find a way to make it work. Whether it may not be, okay, we don't do these certain assignments, we do it a different way. Um, let's find things that make it work. And, that's the way it happens. That's the way education, that's how we learn from each other. I'm not here as the I know everything. I love looking at your projects because a lot of times I find things that I've never even seen. Because I'm going to give you that option to go really, try to kind of show off a little bit, do something good. For some of you, like for a video, some of you, the act of getting a video and actually submitting a video, just the fact that you could submit a video may be a big deal for you. Some of you, like you actually make videos all the time and you're really good at making videos and you know how to edit videos and you know how to do all of this kind of stuff. Sometimes that's really good. Okay. But that's just kind of up to you all. Um, so as we go through the semester, look for every Friday, most of the times Friday, sometimes it'll be Saturday, Sunday, but I will get the information to you. By Monday, I will make a video or I will send you notes. So I'll make a video or I'll send you an announcement. If the announcement comes, whatever is in the video, whatever is in the announcement, you are responsible for things. And I would encourage you to make sure you watch it because and the videos are not going to be this long. The videos are going to be like 5-10 minutes max. In that video, I might say, hey, by the way, we're not doing this. This assignment is not due this week. You don't have to do it. And then, you show up and some people, I find out real quick who didn't watch the video because I'm not going to put it out there. I'm just going to tell you on the video that you do not have to do this assignment. And then you find out who didn't watch the video because people start turning in the assignment. Or I'll tell you how I want you to do something. Or I might delay it, whatever it might be, making sure that you are watching those videos. Okay. I will not put anything. I am not a person who likes to blow time and just not, just do it. I know this may seem like it tonight. This is why we only meet one time. But I don't want to waste your time. Those videos take a long time to, make and put in and get them submitted and turn them into YouTube videos. So unless I have something really important, I'm not going to put it in there. And then again, making sure that you have your announcements set to get, because that's the only way I can really communicate with you. My office, I'm in Bluemont Hall 207. I would love to have you stop by. If you have any questions, I would be happy to meet with you. I'm happy to meet with anybody on whenever. If you just say, hey, I'm struggling, can we meet? I promise, I'm just going to make this promise right now, and it's on video. I will help you find a solution to make it work for you. We are all dealing with stuff, and everybody has issues that happen in life, and things get hard. And if that comes up, the best way to deal with it is to be upfront with me. Even if it's like, look, I don't want to talk to you about it right now, but I have some stuff going on. I'll come talk to you about it later. Let's start with that. If I reach out to you because you're falling behind, you will get a message every Friday. Assignments are due Thursday. Friday morning, you will get a message from me if you did not turn your assignment in. Okay. We'll just send out a message. Hey, just a reminder, this assignment was due last night. So you will get a notice from me. If those continue and you're the same people, we'll be sending out individual emails and try to get in contact with you. I want you to succeed. I want you to have an A. I want this to be a positive experience for all of us, not just you. I want this to be a positive experience for me. My GTAs will help grade this class just because there are so many. I have two GTAs. They're both awesome. And so you can email me or you can email them when they respond if they grade your thing, if you have any questions. But we'll all get on it and get back to each other. Okay. All right. You all have a absolutely fabulous semester. I'm excited for this class. I'm excited for you to be here. I'm excited for you to be, the biggest thing is I'm excited for you to be in the College of Education because we need great teachers. We need people that are willing to go out there and do their best. Yeah, I said the code word was intent. Intent was the code word. Intent. Um, but I'm excited. We need good teachers. We need people that are going to be positive role models in kids' lives that are going to come in with enthusiasm and energy and going to make sure we teach to individuals. So I'm excited to have that, have you guys be part of that deal. You all have a fabulous thing. I'm gonna stop the recording